And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking all the news coming out of the WRC Shakedown, including a certain Finnish former world champion that's been struggling with tyres. Yes, Kalle Back, fastest in the Shakedown and Rally Canarias. What does that mean? Well, some people say it's kind of like a practice session. It doesn't really mean that much, but we think it's fairly significant, especially considering the struggles he's had with the tyres. Also, news on Evans. I think Tanak's got a bit to say about his vehicle. Hopefully we'll get to that. And M Sport's sort of aerodynamic cooling device makes its sort of debut. Yeah, we'll get into that as well. Are you excited? Yes. Are we excited? Yes. So here we go, and this is from dirtfish.com. Rather, Kalle Back dominates the Rally Canarias Shakedown. I mean, this is your times. If you can see it, I'll try and zoom in a bit more. Rally Back 4:13.1. That was on the first runs. The green is their fastest times. I think he ended up going faster, but at this point, he was 4 seconds faster than Evans, who didn't really improve as much as some people thought he might. But we'll get into that in a bit. So let's talk about Kalle Back, fastest on the blocks, fastest out of the blocks, and he topping the timesheets, beating the rest of the field by 2.5 seconds on what was, let's be fair, a really small 6.26 kilometre run. Bearing in mind, this rally has been won by seconds. We're talking like a few seconds at times. That could be quite significant. So the two-time world champion absolutely sprinted away from the blocks, initially by a whopping 4 seconds over what was his Rally 1 rivals, which is absolutely amazing. He ended up reaching a benchmark into the 4-minute 10s. And Back himself highlighted he was somewhat out of practice on the asphalt relative to his rivals, making his immediate pace even more impressive. Has Kalle Back finally unlocked the tyres? Well, Kalle said, it has actually been a long time for us to be on a proper tarmac rally. He said this year's Monte Carlo excluded. His most recent asphalt, as we know, was Rally Japan in 2023. 1 year and 5 months ago. That is a long time. So an early sticking point for several drivers was the pace note making process. Now, Rally 1 drivers were writing new notes from scratch. For example, Evans, who'd participated in the recce for last year's rally when it was an ERC round, admitted the notes he'd written in 2024 sadly were of little use. Kind of like I guess, getting home and doing the wrong homework and realising it when you come into school. So with narrow roads and a busy island for Rally Week, multiple drivers highlighted how congestion during the recce had made post notes a bit more difficult, which in a selfish way is going to make things more exciting for us. So Tanak, 2.9 seconds off the pace on the shakedown, tied for third fastest time with Hyundai teammate Terry Newell. He said the recce was very complicated with all the traffic, but now the fun part starts. Absolutely it does, Tanak. OJ, starting what is his second round of the WRC season, had similar issues. He said it's going to be a very demanding pace notes were not easy to make from the recce with all the traffic. But what did the current world championship, not yet, but world championship leader think of it all? Well, important remark from WRC. This is from rallyjournal.com from Evans saying, I think the limit comes much sooner. What does he mean? Well, Toyota's Evans, as you know, he's heading into Rally Canarias, which starts on Friday with, let's be fair, I don't want to say comfortable because it's so early in the championship. Nothing is ever comfortable at this stage, but it is a clear lead, as Rally Journal reports, and it absolutely is. So Evans was noticeably, though, off the pace, especially when compared to his teammate Kalle Back, who ended up setting the fastest time on what was a small 6.26 kilometre section. Evans, though, remained fairly confident after the test stage. He'd contested the Cordoba ERC rally earlier this month as a test and feels the car has improved, which is good. He said, Shakedown was pretty okay when I finished the test rally. I was not super convinced with the car, but the guys have worked a bit. He said they changed the setup a bit again before we started this morning, and it seems a bit better. But time will tell. Yes, it will. Now, the Canary Islands event has a very circuit-like character with no corner cutting, clean asphalt, which is something that Evans likes. He said, nice stages, obviously the closest we come to circuit racing by miles compared to what we do otherwise in the championship. But yeah, all pretty nice and all. Now, Hankook's new tarmac tyres are going to be tested in the Canary Islands, and so far this season, Evans has seemingly been the fastest to adapt to the rubber. Remember, he finished second in the Monte Carlo rally. And he says, I feel okay with them, hard compound tarmac tyre. But actually, it's quite different to what we had in the past. He said, I think the limit of the tyre comes much sooner than we had in the past. He said, the limit of the grip comes much earlier than what we had in the past. If we have very hot conditions with the technical nature of the stages, then managing the tyre could be a factor here. And on he clarified. So, and it says here also, on Saturday evening, one of the most unusual spectator stages of the season will take place when SS13 is run inside a basketball arena in Gran Canaria. These short showcase stages are rarely a favourite among drivers, but a part of modern rallying. He says, I have to be careful what I say now in case I mess it up. I mean, you say it's quite unusual to enter the stadium like this, and for sure it's not the best driver stage, but it's part of the game. Yeah, I kind of understand. The crowd are going to love it though. The crowd are going to love it. This is M Sport's special aerodynamic well, not really go faster. And what? Oh, it's gone. It's now gone. Oh no! Let's back it up. Let's back it up. So yeah, this is M Sport's special aerodynamic thing. As you can see here, there it is. It's basically they've opened it up for the first time. They've opened it up for the first time for things like tyre cooling, etc. So yeah, is it going to be an improvement? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I'm honest. Oh. But there we go. So let's move on to Art Tanak. So Art Tanak is clearly concerned the car needs to be spot on. At least that's what he's saying. So Hyundai's Art Tanak, he sounded uncertain about his performance after Thursday morning's shakedown. And let's get a few of the quotes. This is from rallyjournal.com. As we know, Kalle Back dominated it. And Tanak is among the drivers who've never raced in Gran Canaria before. And he said, that's the thing. Never been on the island, never driven a rally car on these roads. So that's all we need to see during the weekend and adapt as quickly as possible and make the best out of it. Now, Hyundai has made updates to their car with their homologation jokers. And according to Tanak, he hasn't yet found complete confidence in the i20 and Rally 1, which I think you will need even more in those fast and grippy tarmac stages that we're going to have here. And he said, we have upgraded the chassis now, and I was first to test it. After the test, we were still not in a good place. Like you can see, we are still quite busy on the shakedown to find a better balance and a better feeling in the car, he says. So working for it now, and hopefully we are in a good place to start the rally. He pretty much summed up. And last but no means least is apparently the Gran Canaria, what was it? I think this might even be the wrong one. So this is Repsol is back in rally. As you can see here, I think it's been, what, 20 years, someone was saying? And as you can see here, this is the... I believe this is the Toyota, I think it's Toyota WRC2 car. And, yeah, Repsol. This is looking good, isn't it? There we go. It's obviously another shot. I mean, you can see. Anyway, I digress. On that note, if you made it to the end and you're not, please give us a subscribe. If you are subscribed, that's absolutely great. Just watching this video is more than enough for us. But if you want to do a bit more, hit that like button, comment below, let us know who you think is looking good for Friday in the World Rally Championship in Rally Canaria. Speak to you soon. Thanks for watching and stay safe.